Modern gardens are built around a handful of familiar crops, yet for centuries farmers fed entire populations without supermarkets, fertilizers or hybrid seeds. Medieval growers relied on vegetables that thrived in poor soil, resisted pests, stored for months, and produced reliable harvests year after year. Many of these crops quietly disappeared, not because they failed, but because they didn't fit industrial farming. Today, with rising food costs and fragile supply chains, these forgotten vegetables are more valuable than ever. This is not nostalgia gardening. This is about rediscovering plants that were selected by survival itself. Skirret and why sweetness once came from roots. Skirret was one of the most prized medieval root crops, grown across Europe for its naturally sweet, chestnut-like flavour. Unlike carrots bred for sugar through modern selection, skirret produces sweetness through slow starch conversion. It thrives in cool climates, tolerates heavy soils, and returns year after year once established. What makes skirret powerful for modern gardeners is reliability. It doesn't bolt easily, it handles cold springs, and it stores exceptionally well in the ground or cellar. In an era before sugar was accessible, skirret filled that role naturally. Good King Henry, the perennial green nobody remembers. Good King Henry was a staple leafy green long before spinach became common. Once planted, it produces edible shoots, leaves, and even flower buds every season. Medieval farmers valued it because it emerged early in spring when little else was available. This plant thrives in poor soil, tolerates shade, and requires almost no care once established. For modern gardeners, it functions like a perennial spinach, reducing the need for constant replanting while delivering dependable nutrition. Sea kale, you know, is often called the vegetable bred by storms. It evolved along harsh coastlines, constantly battered by salt winds and struggling in poor soil. Medieval farmers, recognizing its toughness, decided to bring it inland. And once it's established, sea kale produces these thick shoots and large leaves year after year, requiring almost no input at all. Its deep roots, well, they mine minerals that are simply unavailable to shallow-rooted plants, gradually improving the soil over time. You know, that trait alone makes sea kale valuable in modern regenerative gardens focused on long-term fertility. Salsify and scorzonera, the winter survival roots. Often called oyster plants because of their subtle seafood-like flavour, salsify and scorzonera were winter staples. These roots grow deep, store well, and they remain harvestable even after frost. Medieval farmers relied on them during those lean months because, they could be left in the ground and harvested as needed. For modern growers, they provide fresh food when, gardens usually sit dormant. Chard before it was ornamental. Leaf beet, the ancestor of modern chard, was grown for resilience, not appearance. It tolerates cold, heat, poor soil and repeated harvesting. Medieval farmers valued it because it never truly stopped producing. Unlike many modern greens that bolt quickly, leaf beet continues growing through stress. That trait makes it ideal for unpredictable climates. Parsnips before sugar changed taste preferences. Well, medieval parsnips were, smaller and a bit tougher than the ones we see today, but they were actually much more resilient. They really thrived in cold soil, and interestingly enough, their flavour developed after a good frost. Before refined sugar was around, parsnips were, in fact, used as a primary sweetener in all sorts of dishes. Their remarkable ability to overwinter in the soil, well, that made them a true cornerstone of food security back in the day. Today, they remain one of the most calorie-dense root crops you can grow in a small space. Turnips and rutabagas that fed livestock and people. Turnips and rutabagas were not backup crops. They were essential. Medieval farmers grew them for both humans and animals, ensuring survival through winter. They grow fast, tolerate cold, and, produce large yields even in compacted soil. In modern gardens, they offer quick calories with minimal effort. Leeks, the winter green that never quit. Leeks were prized because they stand through snow and frost. Unlike onions, they don't require curing and can be harvested whenever needed. Their slow growth and cold tolerance made them ideal for medieval winters. For modern gardeners, they extend the harvest season when most crops are finished. Celeriac and the art of storage. Celeriac was grown not for speed, but for storage. Its dense root stores for months without refrigeration. Medieval farmers understood that food preservation started in the soil. Today, celeriac offers a high-yield, low-maintenance crop that replaces imported produce in winter kitchens. Broad beans, the protein of the Middle Ages. Before soybeans and industrial legumes, broad beans provided protein. They tolerate cold, enrich soil with nitrogen, and, produce reliably in poor conditions. Their ability to grow early in spring gave medieval farmers food when supplies were lowest. Modern gardeners can use them to build soil while, feeding themselves. So, why did these vegetables disappear? Well, these crops didn't vanish because they failed. They disappeared because they just don't ship well, don't look uniform, and honestly, don't fit monoculture systems. Industrial agriculture, you see, favoured appearance and transport over resilience and nutrition. Home gardeners, on the other hand, don't face those constraints. Why do they matter now more than ever? Well, climate instability, rising input costs, and soil degradation make resilient crops essential again. These vegetables were selected through centuries of trial and failure. They require less water, fewer inputs, and offer more dependable harvests. They aren't trendy, they're proven. How to grow them successfully today. Most forgotten vegetables thrive in simple soil enriched with compost. Avoid overfeeding. These plants evolved to grow slowly and steadily. Mulching improves moisture retention and mimics natural conditions they prefer. Once established, many become long-term producers that reduce yearly planting effort. The deeper lesson medieval farmers understood: food security comes from diversity, not yield alone. Growing, many resilient crops spreads risk and, stabilizes harvests. Medieval farmers didn't chase maximum output. They chased survival. Modern gardeners, I think, would do well to remember that. If this opened your eyes to what our gardens are missing, do consider subscribing to Nature's Blueprint. Share this with someone who cares about real food security, and together help bring these forgotten crops back where they truly belong.